All right, on the bench. This is the second of the new old stock Cobra 148 GTLs that was sent in. You guys can go back to the previous video if you haven't seen it yet. But this one here actually has some pretty cool history, I guess you could say. Even though this box is a little bit more worn than the other box, than the other Cobra 148, this one's actually a little bit more special because it's never actually been open. This bag, this protective bag that it's in, still has the original tape on it. So yeah, since this thing had been sealed, you know, back nearly maybe 30 years ago, no one's ever touched this. So it's I thought that was pretty cool. And also, you can actually trace this back to where it was actually ordered. So I don't know if you guys remember, well, I'm sure you guys remember, service merchandise. There was actually one, used to have one walking distance from my childhood city where I grew up, in Somerville. I was actually in a place called Twin City Plaza. And, well, it was called that literally because it was in two cities, the plaza itself. It was in, half of it was in Somerville, and the other half of it was in Cambridge. So it was called Twin City Plaza. But anyway, I don't know, there might have been like your typical plaza, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8 stores, something like that, you know, supermarket. But yeah, I remember going in there quite a few times with my parents, just to get, I don't know, I can't remember what exactly, you know, we bought there, but obviously a department store, we could have bought a bunch of different things. But anyway, yeah, that's my memories of service merchandise. But anyway, this particular person here, Manuel Chavez, probably ordered this from the catalog, because this has a UPS shipping. This was shipped from UPS, so it went from service merchandise in Scottsdale, Arizona, to Manuel Chavez in New York, New York. So that's pretty cool. I wonder maybe if they didn't have it in stock, or who knows. But it was definitely ordered from the catalog, the service merchandise catalog. I can't remember exactly when service merchandise kind of just fizzled away and went out of business, but it's been a while. Time flies. But anyway, here's the packing list. So this was ordered back in January 29th of 1996. So yeah, nearly 30 years ago. That's crazy. And this thing's never been opened. It's never been opened since it was shipped from Malaysia, I'm assuming. But yeah, Mr. Manuel Chavez ordered this. But I couldn't help to think why he just kind of never opened it. Strange, right? How does somebody buy something like this and not open it, at least? So, who knows? I mean, maybe... I wonder if Mr. Manuel Chavez is still around, if he actually still lives in 62nd Street in New York, New York. Be interesting. Imagine if he's watching this video. But yeah, I couldn't help but to wonder, like, what happened? Why wouldn't anybody, you know, why would somebody just buy a radio, a CB radio, and just put it away and never open it or use it or whatever, you know? But anyway, yeah, was this like a backup radio that he never used, never opened? Did he own a trucking company that this kind of just sat on a shelf? Or who knows, right? There could be a bunch of possibilities. Maybe he even, you know, passed away and, you know, never got his radio. Who knows? There's a bunch of different stories, but that one could think of. But I find it crazy. I don't know, if it was me, you know, I would have opened it up and definitely used it. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to show you guys this because the reason why I know it hasn't been opened is because it still has the original tape on it, and it's still sealed. So this is still sealed here. The original tape there and the original tape there. So this thing has never been opened. So yeah, let me be the first person here to yeah, that was just hanging on by a a little thread there, but be the first person to open this up since it was imported from Malaysia. Crazy how something just sits 30 years dormant, you know, and now it's being looked at and getting ready to finally be used after 30 years, you know, crazy. But yeah, look at that, obviously not a single scratch on it. But yeah, the serial numbers do match. 453130. That's exactly what is on here. 453130. Alright, did I say that right? 453130. Yeah, alright. 453130. Yep, serial numbers match. So, but anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said before, even though this box is a little bit more worn than the other one, I'd have to say on like a collectability standard, or I guess you know, being more special, this one would be the more special one. But yeah, there's service merchandise's sticker. I think that would have been their catalog number, 148GJV, because here, if you go to the packing slip, I wonder if somebody has an old service merchandise catalog laying around. But yeah, the catalog number would have been 148GJV. But yeah, crazy. Wonder how much this was back in 1996. This particular radio. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was something fun to share with you guys. You know, bring back memories of shopping at service merchandise. But yeah, so this one here, he wanted one of the two Cobra 148s. He wanted the carrier to be lower down to 2 watts. So this is going to be the one to have that done to. LED and the meter, and that's it. Yeah, that's, you know what, and if I had this radio, that's exactly all I'd do. I'd just put an LED in the meter and call it a day, do the alignment, and then just use it every once in a while gently, and just keep it. This is a pretty cool piece of history. I mean, Cobra is obviously legendary in the CB world, so, but I would definitely use it, you know, use it gently. You know, that's about it, though. I mean, look at that. That's obviously untouched by anybody since it was packaged. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing recapped, aligned. I'll get that LED in the meter and lower the carrier down to 2 watts for him. I'm assuming he wants this down to 2 watts because he's going to be using some sort of amp. Obviously, he's going to be using an amplifier for research purposes, you know, in a dummy load, and he's not going to be broadcasting. So I'm assuming that's why he wants this down to 2 watts. So he shall get that done. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is, rather than bore you guys with another video of doing the same exact thing that I just did in the previous video, I'm just going to show the end result of the radio, and yeah, we'll take it from there. All right, guys, stand by. All right, well, here's what the inside of the radio is. Obviously, it's untouched, so there's really not much to see. You know, the backside of it could use a little bit of a cleaning, but nothing too bad. You can see here the EPT number. That's a Ranger number, EPT 0148, and then the last 3 digits are going to vary, but this one's an 11Z. So yeah, depending on what year manufacturer, what time manufacturing it was done, you're going to have those last 3 digits are going to vary. But if you look here, I marked a cap, same value cap in 3 different locations. You can see it right there, the blue. Right in there, you can see I marked that blue. And then this one here, I marked blue. So, you're going to find that these are 2.2 microfarad, 50 volt rated caps. So 99% of the time on your Cobra 148s, you're going to see that it's going to be the 50 volt rated caps. On an occasion, well, in fact, most of the Cobra 148s that are made in Malaysia that are going to have these blue capacitors, you're going to see that Ranger put in. Man, the lighting in here kind of sucks, but you're going to see that Ranger put in a 2.2 microfarad 63 volt cap. So what I'm trying to say, well, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because if you are recapping a Cobra 148, you know, by yourselves on your own, and you come across that in these 3 locations you have a 63 volt cap, well, that's fine. If you have a 63 volt cap, by all means put it in. You know, it's obviously overrated for what the circuit is designed for, but if you don't have a 63 volt cap, it's perfectly fine to put in a 50 volt rated cap. This is one of the few times that I could think of where it's okay to actually, if you come across a lower rated cap, that you could actually use a lower rated cap. Yeah, but that's only because by design, you know, those 3 caps are rated for 50 volts. So the locations of those are, let me show you guys here. So if we go over to the service manual, where is, okay, there we go. So you can see that C99, 132, 232, those are the 3 locations I showed you. The cap is a 2.2 50 volt cap. So it's perfectly fine to put that 50 volt back in. In fact, that's what I do because I don't stock 63 volt rated caps. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that if you do come across that and you are recapping, it's perfectly fine to put in that 50 volt rated cap. In fact, these here are 50 volt rated caps. This is specific to this radio. You don't want to do that in all circumstances, obviously, but I just wanted to point that out to you guys, because like I said, I don't normally stock 63 volt rated caps. I'm assuming Ranger had you know, an abundance of them, or maybe they ordered the wrong one. Maybe they ordered the 50 volt and they weren't in stock. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. It's fine, but again, you know, if you only have the 50 volt rated caps, or you know, whatever, it's perfectly fine to use the 50 volt rated caps. All right, I got this thing protected, and I'm going to start recapping this right now. All right, stand by. All right, radio's recapped and aligned. Let me tell you, this thing's working really well. LED in the meter. Nice even glow. There's the caps. And we're in there. Yeah, this the The radio is, what do we got for sensitivity? Minus almost 115 dBm at 12 dB of synad. So it's a really good listening radio. Got the carrier down to audio, 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 audio. Swinging at like 7-8 watts PEP. It's on frequency. Okay. Yeah, just a good looking, good performing radio. I didn't have to touch much, to be honest with you. Everything was pretty much right where I want it to be. So yeah, with that being said, I don't want to make a long video out of this because I did one of these previous video before, so performance is pretty much the same. But anyway, let me get the covers back on this, and then we'll do some channel surfing, and that's really it for this one. All right, stand by, guys. I don't know what's going on, guys. Skip hasn't been great these past couple of days, so I don't know what's going on. But let's just we'll go through the channels anyway. We might catch something here and there. I mean, when the ball isn't going, you know Skip's not coming in at all. This might be a dud, guys. Oh. It's not much. Sucks. It's weird. Only nonsense, I guess. That's Portuguese Skip. 34 is a big Portuguese channel. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go back to AM.
Shame on the mess. Shame on the cotton bacon mess. I roller deep in the heart of Texas. I'm going to go back to sandbagging out here, listening to all the drama.
All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. It's just 3 minutes, 4 minutes of just pretty much nothing. But there you have it. A really, really nice example of a new old stock Cobra 148 GTL. All right, guys. As usual, thanks for watching.